Jim Jones and his podcast co-hosts didn't just criticize 50 Cent's documentary work, they questioned it publicly.
Right now, he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least 80,000, if not 180,000.
And when you question 50 Cent publicly, especially about business, you better be prepared for what comes next. Because what followed wasn't a diss track, it wasn't an Instagram argument, it wasn't even a rap beef. It was something colder.
Acceptable for someone to create a documentary about you without your approval. How would you feel if it happened to you?
Lease agreements, landlord partnerships, security footage, eviction notices, and a calculated financial takedown that left Jim Jones locked out of his own studio. This is how 50 Cent's affiliates smacked Jim Jones after he came for G-Unit.
Definitely not acceptable. It's facetious and petty.
Right. It's like somebody putting out your shit.
The podcast that lit the fuse. In December 2025, Jim Jones sat down with Milo Face and Dave East on their Let's Rap About It podcast. The conversation started casually, industry talk, media ethics, documentaries. Then Dave East posed a question.
Without your permission.
And you're not an actual porno star.
And they do it.
The lighting wasn't good or nothing.
Is it right for someone to make a documentary about you without your approval? The room didn't hesitate. Jones called the idea petty, facetious, exploitative. Mineo compared it to leaking someone's private tape without consent. The tone wasn't subtle. The timing wasn't coincidence. Because just weeks earlier, 50 Cent had released Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a Netflix documentary series exploring allegations surrounding Sean Combs. To Jones and the crew, it felt like weaponizing a camera. They framed it as unethical, as damaging, as something designed to tear a man down rather than honor him. And then Jim Jones delivered the line that would echo far beyond that studio. A documentary should celebrate you, not destroy you.
This look bad. What? Oh, they caught me on a bad day?
Right.
I wasn't even on my This they caught a weak one.
Whether he meant 50 directly or was speaking broadly didn't matter. 50 heard it. And when 50 hears something personal, he doesn't respond emotionally. He responds strategically. From words to warfare. By Christmas 2025, the back and forth had escalated. Subtle shots turned into direct insults. Freestyles were recorded. Instagram captions flew. But 50 wasn't trading bars.
You see that the lighting is dark?
Damn.
You see that the lighting is dark?
Got me looking small
You
out
still put
here.
this on the internet?
Word up.
He was gathering leverage. Instead of arguing online, he went to the source of Jones's power, the studio itself, the landlord. In a move many later described as diabolical, 50 Cent posted audio of a phone call with the building owner, a man named Sam, and what Sam alleged painted a brutal picture. According to the landlord, the lease terms were murky.
I would feel.
I ain't gonna front. I think, if they saluting you.
First of all, they want somebody doing a documentary about
Rent had piled up. Build-out concessions were demanded, but agreements weren't finalized. Revenue transparency was allegedly withheld. But here's the twist. The landlord claimed he had a contractual stake in the podcast's media output, that half of the content produced in that studio belonged to him under their original agreement. And now, he was willing to sell that stake to 50 Cent.
to be a dope documentary.
Yeah, it gotta be dope.
Showing who you are, what you've done,
Put out no bullshit
everything
on
you've
me.
accomplished. Like, a documentary is a big thing. Like, you don't want nobody doing a documentary about like trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like, that's petty behavior.
Suddenly, this wasn't rap beef, it was corporate chess. The number that changed everything. Then came the headline figure, unpaid rent. Reports floated numbers between $80,000 and $250,000. Whatever the true total, the narrative was devastating. The same crew questioning 50's ethics allegedly couldn't afford to keep the lights on in their own studio. And 50 didn't whisper it. He posted it, tagged it, captioned it, mocked it. Then he dropped the line that shook everything. Sam is my partner. I own the joint. Whether fully verified or partially trolling didn't matter. The perception was locked in.
But he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want like 6 months of build out and ridiculous.
50 wasn't just a rival anymore. He was the landlord. February 19th, 2026. The footage. Then came the moment nobody expected. No diss track, no meme, no punchline. Security footage. Time-stamped. High definition. Brutal. The video showed Jim Jones outside his podcast studio at IFC Film Studios. Lights off, power cut, locks changed. He struggled with the door, mentioned the electricity being disconnected, then kicked in a second door to get inside. Every second captured by security cameras. Cameras 50 now seemingly had access to. He captioned it with surgical sarcasm.
Still have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half.
Damn, bro, this wouldn't happen if we was friends. Let's rap about it. It wasn't just mockery, it was narrative control. Then he posted the eviction notice, a 15-day default, a 5-day termination. Lease officially ended 2 days before the footage was recorded. Legally, Jones was only allowed to retrieve personal belongings by contacting the landlord. Social media exploded. Complex called it next level. Fans labeled it peak petty genius. Others questioned how 50 accessed the surveillance system at all. But the bigger point wasn't access, it was execution.
Like insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me.
Financial smack over physical smack. 50 didn't throw punches. He replaced fists with financial leverage. Instead of violence, he used paperwork. Instead of threats, he used contracts. Instead of diss tracks, he used surveillance footage. And he sustained the pressure. Deadlines, more clips, more tags. Because for 50, humiliation isn't a moment, it's a campaign.
Now he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least 80,000, if not 180,000.
The bigger lesson. What makes this story powerful isn't the eviction, it's the symbolism. Hip-hop often glorifies money, power, and ownership. But in this moment, ownership wasn't metaphorical, it was literal. One side questioned documentary ethics, the other side bought the building.
This is getting disrespectful and hilarious at the same time.
And whether you view it as ruthless business or master-level trolling, one thing is clear. 50 Cent didn't just respond, he escalated, calculated.
How did 50 Cent get access to the camera?
And turned a landlord-tenant dispute into viral content while controlling the entire narrative. In rap beef, words can bruise.
But paperwork? Paperwork can evict you. The footage didn't just embarrass Jim Jones, it attacked the brand. For decades, Jim Jones built an image rooted in Harlem resilience, loyalty, ownership, and independence. The eviction video didn't just show a locked door, it suggested instability. And in hip-hop, perception is currency.
Wearing what looks like the same outfit from the viral clip that started showing off martial art moves with Bruce Leroy in the back. Talk about show.
But Jones didn't respond with a press conference. He didn't drop a diss track. He didn't rant. Instead, he posted something unexpected. A video on Instagram stories. Jones performing martial arts movements, chopping wood, a Bruce Lee poster behind him. The caption read, Kung Fu Gym, no locked doors at all.
Almost like he's saying, y'all got jokes, but I'm outside and I'm good.
It was subtle, deflective, calculated. He didn't deny anything. He didn't confirm anything. He simply shifted the energy. Commentary channels immediately dissected the move. The analysis highlighted something important. Jones refused to react emotionally. And that matters, because the worst thing you can do when 50 Cent is trolling you is prove that it's working.
Honestly, that's probably the smartest way to respond when 50 Cent is trolling you. Because once 50 gets a reaction,
50 thrives on reaction. He escalates when he senses frustration. He multiplies humiliation when he smells ego. Jones understood that dynamic, so instead of arguing facts, he redirected the narrative. It was almost like he was saying, "Y'all got jokes? I'm outside. I'm good." And in a perception war, sometimes refusing to engage is the only move left.
Troll back without looking emotional? Yeah. Now the internet starts debating who really won the.
But this moment wasn't random. It carried weight because of history. The roots of the rivalry. The tension between 50 Cent and Jim Jones didn't begin with a studio lockout. It stretches back to the mid-2000s, when G-Unit and the Diplomats, Dipset, represented two of New York's most dominant rap factions. On one side, 50 and G-Unit. On the other, Jones aligned with Dipset alongside Cameron and Jules Santana.
Was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
The tension simmered under the surface. It wasn't always direct. It lived in radio politics, crew loyalty, ego, and competitive hunger. Then 2007 changed everything. That year, 50 publicly dissed Koch Records, the label distributing Jim Jones' music, calling it a graveyard during a Hot 97 appearance. Cameron called in to defend it. That sparked open tension between 50 and Cameron.
One took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, "Oh, he having a moment." That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing.
But here's where it gets complicated. At that exact time, Jones and Cameron weren't even speaking. Dipset was fracturing internally, and 50 saw the opening with predator clarity.
Watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally, he had him.
In September 2007, 50 invited Jim Jones and Jules Santana to perform at a G-Unit show. They accepted. Jones performed We Fly High.
And I knew, I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway.
To Cameron, it was betrayal. To 50, it was strategy. Years later, 50 explained the psychology behind it.
I watched to see how he responded. And then, when you see, he like, "Oh, he really like that." Give me.
He recognized that Jones was experiencing his first real commercial breakout with Ballin'. He understood what that moment meant to someone who would watch teammates shine first. 50 compared Jones's hunger to what Lloyd Banks must have felt watching other G-Unit members get spotlight moments.
Starting the year off at the top of your Explorer. Are you not entertained?
Jones wanted validation. He wanted solo recognition, and 50 knew it. Then came the line that drove the wedge deeper. "We like Jimmy better than you anyway."
Oh, everybody want to put my business in the street. I'm going to talk to you about my business. Right now, I am in the second phase of construction.
It wasn't a compliment. It was a weapon. It validated Jones while disrespecting Cameron simultaneously. It fed insecurity and ambition in the same breath. And 50 saw it working.
I was thinking of building like a little mark, but we'll see how that goes. Hold up, bro. Show you what we'll be doing. I'm building a multi-purpose content creation facility for media, fashion, music, and broadcast.
That 2007 moment defined the next 2 decades. A cycle of provocation, exploitation, and retaliation that never fully cooled. 50's beef machine. What happened with the studio footage wasn't isolated. It was the latest chapter in a playbook 50 has perfected since the early 2000s.
Those opportunities, they still be here working in the midst of us working. So we're still in the midst of construction.
His most famous blueprint began with Ja Rule in Murder, Inc. After surviving a 2000 shooting allegedly linked to that circle, 50 launched records like Wanksta and Back Down that systematically dismantled Ja Rule's commercial standing while elevating himself into superstardom.
What I'm trying to say is I've been happy to be able to invest in myself. It's something that I know is going to help a lot of other people. I'm not building this facility.
The feud escalated beyond music, mixtapes, industry politics, public humiliation, until it drew the attention of Eminem and Dr. Dre.
That's why I invested in myself, but I'm building this facility for all creators.
The lesson 50 learned was elemental. Conflict, when controlled correctly, is marketing. And unlike most artists, 50 never forgot that lesson.
Appreciate the promo. I love free promo. You know, I ain't gonna miss a
The Rick Ross beef, the Floyd Mayweather Jr. exchanges, the legal saga with Tierra Mari, each followed the same formula: provoke, escalate, document, post. Let the internet amplify. He sits back, engagement climbs. Fans call him the roast god. Billboard has described him as hip-hop's perpetual narrator, someone who agitates opponents while rarely appearing rattled himself. This time was different. The Jim Jones saga represents the most sophisticated evolution of that formula. Instead of diss tracks, 50 used property transactions. Instead of subliminals, he used surveillance cameras. Instead of verses, he posted lease termination documents with timestamps and legal language. And the financial disparity explains why he can operate so fearlessly. 50 has sold over 30 million albums worldwide, held multiple Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles, built an empire through G-Unit Films, the Power franchise, and the Vitamin Water deal that reportedly earned him $100 million. Estimates place his 2026 net worth somewhere between $40 million and $100 million. Jones, by contrast, peaked commercially in the mid-2000s. His later releases never reached comparable first-week numbers, and reports estimate his net worth between $400,000 and $600,000. That disparity isn't background noise, it's the battlefield. When one man offers to buy your studio and the other struggles with rent narratives, the power dynamic speaks for itself. Jones's countermove. But Jones didn't disappear, he reframed. After the Kung Fu post, he shared walkthrough footage of the studio space under construction, positioning himself not as a man evicted, but as an investor building a multi-purpose creative hub. He walked through unfinished floors, boutiques, barbershop spaces, studios in development. Instead of chaos, he framed progress. He showed young creators still working inside the building. He acknowledged the cold temperatures, something 50 and Cam had mocked relentlessly, and owned it. That's a different strategy. Own the mess, redirect the narrative, keep building. Jones positioned the space as community-oriented, an incubator for creators lacking resources, and he closed with a message that defined his stance. The attention itself is the prize. Where it stands now. Reports suggest Jones may have wired over $200,000 to resolve the landlord dispute. But 50 kept posting anyway. Because once humiliation goes viral, financial resolution doesn't erase perception. Cameron also piled on, mocking heating costs and joking about sending money via Zelle. Jones fired back. The circle widened. As of February 21, 2026, no confirmed legal actions beyond public threats have materialized. The feud remains active. The fire keeps burning. The real question: after nearly 20 years of tension, who's really winning? Is it the man who controls the narrative, or the man who refuses to collapse under it?
So now the question is, did 50 Cent really expose Jim Jones, or did Jim Jones just turn 50 Cent's troll into viral content? Don't forget to drop in the comments who you guys think took this round, 50 Cent or Jim.
Maybe it's both. But in this chapter of the story, only one of them owns the building.